and I decided to start a web design company. Now, one thing with that is that I didn't know how to design websites, but I have MBA in online business, so I knew how to increase sales from a website, but I didn't know how to design the website. I didn't know how to code. I didn't know how to, I'm very bad at graphics and everything, right? So, but I was like, okay, you know what? Those are skills and I can learn the skills. I'm not afraid of skills. But what I know is how to sell. That I know really well. And that day, I sat and I thought, okay, if I tell people that I'm a web designer, right away they're going to say, do you have any samples of jobs? And then they're going to say, well, you can't speak English, like you have a hard time probably understanding other things. I was like, okay, wait a second. We need something that gives me credibility. What can I create today that gives me credibility? Not tomorrow, today, right now. And I went on meetup.com, which back then was a very big deal. Like there are lots of meetups out there. There are lots of people networking in person in Vancouver. I went on meetup.com and I looked for the names of different groups that are out there. And one of the groups that I was hoping to be available and nobody runs was Vancouver Business Network. I searched for the word Vancouver Business Network and I realized no one had started a group called Vancouver Business Network. Then I went to Google. I searched for Vancouver Business Network. No one. I was like, are you kidding me? So I founded Vancouver Business Network. So I paid $89. I remember that. I paid $89 for 6 months to meet up and started Vancouver Business Network. And that day, I became the founder of Vancouver Business Network, who happens to have a web design company. Do you see the difference in positioning?
Absolutely.
3 days later, I found my first customer.
Wow. Who was it?
She was actually an amazing human being. And she paid me $1,800 to redesign her website.
Oh, that was a fort 11 years ago for your first gig?
Well, $1,800 paid the money for the rent of the month, bought us food, and I started building websites, right? So the days started looking like this, that from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., I would go to 550 Burrard Street. It's Bental 5. There is a Blends Coffee there. And I would go to Blends Coffee. I would sit downstairs and I would meet with people one-on-one to sell websites, right? So 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, and then had lunch and then bam. And then till 5 p.m. And at 5 p.m., I would go to a networking event. So it would take me till like 6 p.m. to get myself there. And at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., I would network, right? I would network, I would connect with people, and I would find people to have one-on-one meetings with them the next day from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then at 9 p.m., I would go home at 10, have dinner, and I would start learning web design. So I would start learning web design from 10 p.m., going all the way like till 2 a.m., 3 a.m., whenever, like, to as long as like would work, right? Because I didn't have also money to hire someone to teach me web design or pay someone to design, because every dime would matter. Like at that point, every dollar mattered. So I couldn't pay somebody else. I couldn't get a coach. So anyway, so that's how I started that business. And then next month, that same client paid me another $1,800. And I found another client that was paying me $800 a month to do search engine optimization for them, which I knew how to do that one. And anyways, long story short, in a few months, I took that business to a 6-figure company. And
wow.
And Vancouver Business Network became the fastest growing business network in Vancouver. And we ended up having like 400 members in 2.5 months. And then we grew to 2,000 people in 2 years.